You are tuned into Live at Lunch on KRFC, riding the waves through the troposphere of northern Colorado. You can listen to us on 88.9 FM, streaming at KRFC FM. You can find this beautiful Live at Lunch on the RadioVision YouTube channel and subscribe there, and now officially a podcast on any of those podcast providers. So go check that out. Subscribe to the podcast for KRFC Live at Lunch. We are coming to you from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District in beautiful Old Town Fort Collins with support from Canvas Credit Union. Today's Live at Lunch features a Northern Colorado blues and jazz and rock trio tearing it up across the Front Range of Colorado. So I'd like to welcome to KRFC David Michael Boyd and Blue Hideaway. Take it away, boys.
Down for my breakfast in the morning, and I could see that something just was not right. Came down for my breakfast in the morning, I could see that something just was not right. And I've been sleeping restless all through the long, long, lonely night. Reached out for you in the nighttime, and I was all alone in a cold, cold bed. Reached out for you in the nighttime, I was all alone in a cold, cold bed. And all kind of crazy thoughts and fears, now they just start jumping on my head. Ain't been no picnic, babe. There's been things laid on my head. Never had such a road to carry in all the days we've been well now. Daddy went up to heaven. You've been working 2 jobs to make ends meet. Now fire is for melting silver, but Lord, I can't take that heat. Lord, Lord, have mercy on this woman and this man. Give them grace to take that burden. Give them strength. Help them stand. Well, we got to travel and we walk down separate roads. Praise God, that ain't forever. This road will take me home. I'm so thankful, I'm so thankful. I don't have to walk this road alone. I'm so thankful, I'm so thankful. Won't have to walk this road alone. That 3-bolt cord won't be broken, babe, and I know our faithful love is gonna hold. Yeah. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. Laid them out there on the floor. I can see there's room for more. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. When I was a little bitty child, a TV show kinda made me wild. 4 young lads from Liverpool. I wanna play guitar, not go to school. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. Laid them out there on the floor. I can see there's room for more. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. And was a growing boy, dwelled the magazines, they teased and toyed. Gorgeous curves on the shiny page. I wanna be up there on a shiny stage. One. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. Lay them out there on the floor. I can see there's room for more. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. When I was about 13, heard the girls pull their hair and scream. I saved my money from a paper route until silver tones were ringing out. came the day that I could drive and my radio would rock and jive. Spend all my money at the music store, moving my fingers till they got sore. One. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. Lay them out there on the floor. I can see there's room for more. One more, just one more. Gotta get me just one more. As the years went rolling by, guitars came from the left and right. Got the guitars piled up high, just to look at them is my delight. Still am an aging man, still I got no pension plan. If I could live with just one guitar, maybe I could buy me a brand new car.
David Michael Boyd and Blue Hideaway here on Live at Lunch on KRFC. How you guys doing today?
Oh, we're doing great.
Sounded fantastic. What was that last song called?
That's called Just One More.
Just One More.
My wife has continually asked, how many guitars do you need?
Just one more.
And that's my answer. Just one more.
Only one more. What was the
And
song?
you only brought 4 today.
And I only brought four.
What was the title of the first song?
That's called the Lonesome Breakfast Blues.
Lonesome Breakfast Blues. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming playing live at lunch, showing off a little bit of your guitar collection. I guess the important question right now, before we get into chatting with everybody for a minute, is how many guitars do you own, David?
Too many.
Too many.
I've got...
Not your wife's answer, your answer.
Yeah, right. To be real honest, I actually don't exactly know.
No.
There's more than 40.
More than 40.
Because part of what I do is I repair and restore guitars.
Yeah.
And I've started building guitars. And so some of the stuff laying around is just passing through.
Yeah.
They get fixed and get sold. And
Nice.
But some of them, they get fixed and they're so great that I can't let go.
Let go, yeah.
So
Hopefully
they're
it's not
still
somebody
there.
else's guitar at that point.
Right.
Well, awesome. Thanks for coming in again. Let's chat with everybody for a minute. We'll do a little clockwise circle from me. So we're gonna start with Clark Bennett on the drums. How are you?
Howdy.
Yeah, grab that mic.
I'm doing well.
Yeah,
Thanks.
good.
Thanks for having us.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you originally from?
Originally, I'm from Alabama. I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
And then by way of a few years in Montana, have been here since 91 now. So
Okay. What
it's
brought
been a
you
good while.
to Colorado?
What's that?
What brought you to Colorado?
I was tagging along with
Okay.
my wife, who
Okay.
had gotten in graduate school at CSU.
Okay, cool. So
had
you're
no other purpose.
You're Fort Collins based now. You're just Fort Collins based then.
Yes.
Or have you moved
yes.
out?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
Yep, been
Awesome.
here ever since.
Awesome. And what were some of your earliest influences as a musician, or even be pre-musician, if you want to go there?
Yeah, well, I was fortunate to have a mom that was really into a diverse range of music, and so we always had a real random selection of albums around the house.
Nice.
And I would say, you know, early exposure to jazz and jazz fusion, and then a lot of, I guess, like singer-songwriters from back in the 70s and stuff, you know, Paul Simon and people like
Yeah.
that. I heard a lot of that growing up. Yeah, so that was probably my earliest influences. And then when I started playing drums, which wasn't until quite a bit later, junior year in high school, actually, it was more like Led Zeppelin and Allman Brothers and that sort of stuff. That was
Awesome.
what really got me going initially.
What led you to the drums? Did you have any instruments before that?
It was always something that I played other instruments. I played violin and saxophone for a long time.
Okay.
But drums was always something that I wanted to do. It just seemed impractical because of the size and the noise
But
and
it's
everything.
so fun.
But I can remember setting up when my parents would go out at night, which was a lot, and I would set up pillows from the couch and then use my mom's crochet needles.
Ah, nice.
And air drum to like the Letterman or something like that. And
Dave Grohl style.
yeah. So
That's awesome.
I never did
Sweet.
learn to crochet, but I figured out the drums a little bit from that.
My brother did the same thing.
Yeah.
Cushions from the couch
Yeah.
and stuff.
That's awesome.
They make a nice whap whap sound when you.
And are you playing with any other groups right now?
I do. I play. I just joined a band in town. It's been around for a while, but I just joined it's called the Blues Dogs. They
Okay.
play a lot of more like city festival kind of things.
Yeah.
I play with a few country artists, just sort of here and there. And I play in a jazz trio called the Bardhoff Trio.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Cool.
just
You're around? You're around?
I'm around. Yeah,
Playing tunes?
Yeah, I play as
Awesome.
much as I can.
Well,
I always
awesome.
say yes if I can.
If it can. Well, that's awesome. Thanks
Yeah.
for playing drums for us today.
Thanks.
Frank Lands on the
Yes.
bass. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. You got a 5-string over there?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes, and
I was-
unlike David and Clark, you never asked Clark how many snare drums he has.
Oh, how many? How
we
many
never
snare?
we never got into that.
How
He's
many snare
hiding.
drums do
And
you
he's hiding.
have?
More than 70, less than 90.
Seriously?
I know, it's sad.
Do you ever just play a whole snare drum set, put them all together, and snare drum set?
idea.
Yeah, I'm full of them. Or full of it. I don't know. Something like that.
And, you know, the main
How many
reason I bring
basses
that
do
up-
you have?
I only have two.
Only have 2.
I've been playing for 40 years.
You can-
but I just have this and then a 5-string fretless.
You can carry it all on your back.
Keep it simple. Stupid.
That's awesome. Frank, where are you from originally?
I'm a Colorado native. I was born in Denver,
Nice.
grew up in the west side of town, and
Okay.
have been here in Fort Collins for the last 20 years.
Nice. What was the reason to come up all the way to Fort Collins from Denver?
We lived in Estes Park for 10 years before
Okay.
that, where my wife's family
Cool.
was. So a couple brothers and her parents. So it was a great place to have babysitting for kids.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then you dug yourself out.
And
of
then
the
it got
snow
too
and-
expensive, so we came down here.
And it crowded. It gets really crowded there in the summer.
It can. You learn the back roads.
Yeah, I need to learn those. Got to draw me a map.
Yep.
And what about you? Early inspirations for music?
You know, I grew up in a very conservative home, and so listening to albums, we didn't have any, so it was whatever radio stations
Okay.
I could listen to at the time. I picked up the bass when I heard Rush
Nice. Yeah.
and Geddy Lee, and it's like, I want to do that.
I want to do
sounds
that.
cool.
Yeah. So it was your first instrument was bass? Or
I
did you
played
have something
clarinet
else?
for a little while.
Little bit.
We had a guitar and a piano
Sitting
at our
around.
house, so I just kind of messed around on those, but I didn't really get serious until
Yeah.
I got my first bass.
So how old were you when you?
I was 16
Okay.
when I got my first bass.
You
And
heard the spirit of the radio and,
heard the, yep.
and just started rocking.
Yep.
That's awesome. What other bass players have influenced you throughout?
Well, from that time period, Chris Squire, John Entwistle
Nice. Yeah.
were real big. One of my favorite bands currently is the Neil Morse Band, And his bass player is Randy George, phenomenal player, but nobody knows him because all they do is prog rock. So
Yeah. It's not as popular as it should
no,
be.
it's not.
Well, awesome.
Well, when you have 20-minute long songs, it doesn't get on the radio.
No,
very often.
not frequently.
No.
Well, awesome. Thanks, Frank, for coming in. And then we have David Michael Boyd hanging out at the front here, playing one of his many, many guitars.
That's right.
And how about you? Where are you originally from?
Well, I was born in Omaha.
Okay.
And when I was 2, I told my parents, I need a life. Let's move to Colorado. And they moved us out here. Grew up in Boulder.
Okay.
Went to high school there. Went to CU for a little while. Majored in undecided.
Nice. Perfect. Perfect thing to major
for
in.
3 semesters. And then
Yeah.
was off and joined the Air Force to figure out what I wanted to do when I grow up. So.
And did they teach you that? in the
Kind
Air
of.
Force?
You know, my wife and I wanted to get married, and there didn't seem to be much of a career in undecided.
Yeah.
So
Very little.
did that. Went to school part-time at a local junior college. Got a degree in music there.
Okay. Cool.
And yeah,
when did you find yourself wanting to play an instrument?
very early. I grew up in a musical family. My grandfather actually played banjo in the first radio orchestra west of the Mississippi.
Oh, wow. That's
in
cool.
a little town called Shenandoah, Iowa, which is where the Everly Brothers came from.
Wow,
If anybody
nice.
knows them.
Oh, yeah.
And he made a banjo for me when I was 2 years old. Gave me a little
sweet.
Ukulele banjo,
Sweet.
which I've never learned to play. But
You got time.
early on, yeah, right. Early on, you know, TV, there was the Smothers Brothers, and there was this upright bass, and I was just all about that upright bass.
Yeah.
And then school orchestra, they didn't have that, and I wasn't big enough anyway. So I ended up on the cello and started playing that.
That's a
and
beautiful
then
instrument.
when I was 11, the Beatles came.
Yeah, I've heard about them.
Yeah. And some people haven't, it seems. We were talking about that earlier. Paul who? You know, right?
Yeah.
And so the guitar seemed way cooler than the cello
Yeah.
at the time. And 2 uncles who played guitar. And so that kind of steered me that direction.
Nice. Awesome. And who are some of your earliest influences musically?
Oddly, as I think about that, Chet Atkins
Chet Atkins.
and
Nice.
his, finger-style country guitar,
Yeah.
astounding
Yes.
player.
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
my gosh. And then later on, my first band, we played surf music.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
You know, ventures and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We called it the Tapioca Jellyfish. There's a 1960s
That's a good one.
name. And one summer, went to a swim party. I was 14, and somebody had gotten a fuzz box, and they were playing
Changed
Jimi
your
Hendrix
world.
covers. Little fuzz face, those little round
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And I'd never heard that music before, and it was like, I got to get me one of those.
Yeah.
You know, and so Hendrix, Clapton later on,
Okay.
maybe Jimmy Page to a later, lesser degree. But then more recently, I've been into a lot of jazz players like Larry Carlton and Lee Rittenauer.
Cool. Yeah.
Scott Henderson, if he's maybe less known, but he's a guitar player from another planet.
Yeah.
That guy's
Awesome.
amazing. So,
Super cool. Well, David Michael Boyd and Blue Hideaway, thanks so much for coming in and playing live at lunch today. And I heard you have more songs in
We
your back
have more
pocket.
songs.
What do we got next?
Well, I know we've been talking a lot, but I want to introduce Bathsheba.
Okay.
This is Bathsheba.
Nice.
And
Can't see that part. What is it?
this is a Gibson ES347 for
Yeah.
guitar geeks out there. And I have to just briefly tell how we met. I flew to California years ago to have a meeting with someone who was a very important mentor in my life. Flew from Denver to California, and then the meeting didn't happen, and I was a little upset and bummed and depressed and felt neglected and rejected, and my mood got infected, and I went where guitar players go when they're like that. Music store. Where else, right? Walk in, and I see this lovely lady hanging on the wall, and I thought, wow, look at those gorgeous curves. String of pearls on the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Gold jewelry on the head. And I thought, if I hold her, I'll feel better. So I got her down. I said, what's your name? She said, my name's Bathsheba. Let's play some blues.
Heck yeah.
When I got home, I had to sell some stuff to pay for the credit card bill. One of the things I sold was a vintage Fender Stratocaster worth probably $7,000 or $8,000 at the time, but I didn't know, and I sold it for $450.
Oops.
That's when the blues really began. And there's a moral to the story, and that is, might be something at home that you don't fully appreciate the value of. Mm-hmm. Don't trade it off for something with gorgeous curves, string of pearls on the neck, gold jewelry around the head. The song's called Nothing But Trouble. Since I learned to play the blues. Well, it's already getting late. Now it's about 10:30. And I was up till 3 last night, fixing to do it again. Oh, man. Nothing ever come to trouble since I learned to play the blues. Got an idea for a song rolling round in my head. My wife, she went upstairs, waiting for me in the bed. Oh man, nothing ever come to trouble since I learned to play the blues. Since I was a little bitty child, oh, the sound of a guitar make me go wild. Nothing ever come but trouble since I learned to play the blues. Ever since I was a little bitty child, sound of a guitar make me go wild. Yeah, man. But nothing ever come but trouble since I learned to play the blues. I'll tell you a true story now. I went downtown, buy some new tires for my car. I came back home with a brand new guitar. Oh. Well, nothing ever come but trouble since I learned to play the blues. True stories. My wife, I mentioned her and her asking me how many guitars I need, and always saying just one more. But we're going to celebrate our 50th anniversary this coming summer, and for which she deserves great applause and award.
Maybe a guitar solo.
Yeah, I'll play a guitar solo for her on our anniversary.
You can always go from just one more to just enough to get the job done
just
right.
Just enough to get it done, yes. And so this is a song I wrote for her called Get On Home on the Run. We're going to feature Clark a bit on that. So you want to count us off back there? Baby, she got hair like the golden sun. My baby got hair like the golden sun. Make a man like me get on home on the run. My baby says things to me so nice. My baby says things to me so nice. Make a man like me know everything is alright. Said, baby, I'll love you till the end of time. Well, baby, love you till the end of time. A man like me, I ain't never gonna change my mind. Ah, baby, love you more every day. Oh, baby, love you more every day. Make a man like me say thank you when I pray. This is what I say, I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. What I say when I'm said, my baby, she's getting hell like a silver moon. My baby, getting hell like a silver moon. And she said I could sing that. Still make a man like me get on home real soon. Yes, it does. I said, make a man like me get on home real soon.
David Michael Boyd and Blue Hideaway here on Live at Lunch, live in the Ginger and Baker studio, rocking. That was awesome. And before we move along, I want to hear as much music as possible, but we got to give a shout out to Eric Delano, Dan Perez for videography today, setting everything up, making us look good. Greg Douras and Colton Boening for audio production today. It's amazing. I do want to hear a lot more music, but I do want to talk to you, David, because you do some really cool things beyond just playing a cool band. You play in other cool bands, too. You have a really amazing nonprofit organization called Blues Behind Bars, and I just want to put out the word out there what you're doing. Can you tell us a little bit about Blues Behind Bars?
So, Reader's Digest version of the history. I lived in Vienna, Austria for 12 years. And when we came home, that was in 2006. And I did the obvious thing to do, which is start a blues band. What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
And a chaplain from the prison out in Sterling invited us to come out and play at Christmas time. And we thought, sure, we'll do that. Mm-hmm. So we went out there. That particular band was a 5-piece, so also keyboards and a saxophone. Wonderful guys, and I still play with them sometimes too. We played for a room of 140 guys. At the end of the evening, they were jumping, singing, shouting, and we thought, my goodness, what happened here?
This is a good crowd.
And one of the men said, this is the best Christmas party I've had on the inside in 30 years.
Yeah.
And that 30 years was like, oh
yeah.
Are you kidding me? And so some doors opened up for us. We became a Department of Corrections approved program, and we play concerts in prisons. Also do programs at Larimer County Jail and the Work Release Center here. And for a season, I was doing songwriting with inmates. And in fact, maybe we'll jump on the set list and play one of those since I'm mentioning it.
Yeah.
I've got a song that was written with some men over at the Work Release Center.
Awesome.
We continue to do that, and it's just an amazing and fulfilling thing to do as a musician, and honestly, the most appreciative audiences that I've ever played for.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And if people want to learn more about that, they just go to davidmichaelboyd.com.
We have a website, bluesbehindbars.com.
Okay.
And if you want to know more, you can check that out. We also have a YouTube channel. During COVID, everything was shut down in prisons, as was everywhere else, and we couldn't go. So we videoed a few sessions, kind of like this. We got together in a room, and we made DVDs to send into the prisons.
Oh, cool.
Some of that material is also available on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel for Blues Behind Bars.
Nice.
You can see some of that. And almost all of that is music written together with inmates.
Awesome.
So
that's really cool.
That's been
really cool project.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then one other thing, speaking of having so many guitars, real quick, you have on your website, you do a solo guitar show, but I think solo guitar show, I'm going to go play solo guitar and play guitar. But yours is a little different, and people can book you if for this if they're interested as well. Can you tell us a little bit about your solo guitar show?
So I mentioned earlier that I repair guitars, and I guess I should also call myself a collector, but I don't really think that's what I am, because I actually play them, and so there are circumstances surrounding the acquisition and restoration of all these guitars that are interesting stories. And so I will bring 5 to 8 different guitars and talk about the history and the story and play something on the instrument. There's one guitar in particular, when I found it, those of you who are guitar geeks would know the name George Loudon, who's an internationally known luthier from Ireland. I found one of his guitars in Vienna, Austria, in an auction house, and somebody had glued seashells all over the top of it. When it was new in 1989, it sold for $3,500, and somebody glued seashells on it. Got them all off. I said, "What's your name?" And she said, "Shelley." And I said, "Yes, of course it is." So anyway, that's one of my favorites. And
nice.
so I do those kind of things.
Yeah. You're more like a guitar archivist, maybe.
I guess that's a good. I like that. I'll keep that.
There you go. That'll be $100.
It gives me some legitimacy to cramming my basement full of stuff.
Awesome. Well, what song you got next for us?
So this is called "The Devil's Backyard," and just the discussions that we have so often and the songwriting workshops. So blues is 3 chords and the truth. That's what an old blues man said. And so we'll sit together and we just talk about life, where they've come from, where they're at now, where they hope to go in the future. And one of the subjects that comes up pretty often is that if you've grown up in a less than ideal environment, sometimes it's difficult to escape the vortex of that kind of lifestyle. So many of them have, their whole family have relatives who are incarcerated or addicted and so on. And so we were just talking about that and how difficult that can be.
Yeah.
To try to just see life differently and just go
cycle.
different directions. Yeah, break the cycle kind of thing. So this is called growing up in the devil's backyard.
Nice.
Is what this is called. This is heard one blues man call this kind of rhythm a lump-de-lump. That's a Chicago technical music term, apparently. You know, a bottom feeder like me wallow in the mud. I broke down, locked in chains, living on the devil's luck. Life is hard. When your past is scarred, life is hard. When you grew up in the devil's own backyard, living life gets tough when you run without a plan. Now you can't beat the dealer when you're a joker with a lousy hand. Life is hard. Then your past is scarred. Life is hard. You grew up in the devil's own backyard. I couldn't ante up. I could not pay what's due. You know, I had dreams and ideas, but I had no follow through. Life is hard. When your past is scarred, life is hard. When you grew up in the devil's own backyard. Can't just roll with the punches when the devil is dealing cards. His fiery darts will get you. When you're down, he'll kick you hard. Life is hard.
when you grew up in the devil's own backyard. Life is hard when your past is scarred. When I get released from jail, gonna go back to my life. I believe the good Lord has pleased me. He showed me a new path in life, like a scar. When your past is scarred, life is hard. When you grew up in the devil's own backyard. This life is hard when your past is scarred. Calling out your name. I've been calling out your name. Got to tell you, babe, can't believe you just walk away. I held my hands out, I held my hands out all day. I held my hands out, I held my hands out all day. Can't believe you, babe, you're making a great big mistake. That's what you're doing, yeah. I took you in when you was hungry. Took you in, you didn't have no clothes. Waited patiently for you to love me. I shared with you my happy home. Sometimes people, we act like a rebel woman too. Sometimes people, we act like a rebel woman too. Our Father in heaven, he's up there singing the rebel woman blues. And he said, calling, I've been calling out your name. I've been calling out your name. Got to tell you, babe, you're making a great big, it's a really big, stupid mistake you're making. That's so stupid you're gonna get hit by a parked car. That's so stupid you gotta put lipstick on your forehead just to make up your mind. Oh, babe, I said that's a mistake you're making.
Right, David Michael Boyd and Blue Hideaway here on Live at Lunch. We're heading into the end of the hour. We got about 10 minutes left, but real quick, I do want to squeeze this in. February 15th at Avogadro's. This is 2025 for all the future people. February 15th, 2025. You're doing a little Avogadro's Welcome to the Blues show. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what people can expect? Sounds really cool.
Well, watch for information on that on our Facebook. You can find out what we're doing there. I collect guitars, as I've said, and I've got a number of historic instruments, banjo from the late 1800s, a couple of guitars from the 1920s, a dobro from 1935, electric guitar from 1950, another one from 60. And I want to do just a brief history of the blues and play music from those different eras on authentic instruments from that same period of time.
Cool.
And connected with Blues in the Schools, which is a program from the High Plains Blues Society.
Nice.
And the idea is to expose the young next generation to this music. And we like to say, you know, if you like rock, if you like jazz, if you like hip hop, if you like rap, some country, gospel, you have the blues to thank for almost all of it.
Where it came from.
And it just doesn't get heard that much these days. So we're trying to keep it alive.
Awesome. Well, thanks for telling us about that. David Michael Boyd and Blue Hideaway. Like I said, February 15th at Avo's. Their Facebook page, just under David Michael Boyd.
We also have a Blue Hideaway.
A Blue Hideaway Facebook page. All right. And then I know there's a davidmichaelboyd.com for more information. Well, thanks. Let's hear wrap it up with a couple more songs. What you got for us?
All right. Well, we're experimenting here with a guitar that can talk to synthesizers. We'll see how that works. There it is. So this is a song that is a result of having been an illegal alien at one point in my life. In the nation of Austria, we were asked to leave at a certain point in time. And like the old Saturday Night Live skit, I went and wrote a song about it. It's called Outsider. And I think it's still relevant in our time, things that are going on right here in our country. Look the other way, he's an outsider. Standing out in the cold rain, outsider. Nobody care. He's an outsider. Nobody care. He's an outsider.
Don't let him get a start here, outsider. Don't open up your heart, he's an outsider. Nobody care, he's an outsider. Nobody care, he's an outsider. Don't listen to the spirit in this land. The one who gives, still the greatest man. Don't listen to the spirit in this land. 'Cause we are all refugees, refugees in flight, driven from our rightful home. We are all refugees, refugees in flight, driven from our rightful home. I'm walking down the street, no one lives anymore. Looking for my hero, he lived here once before. Windows in this house are dirty, they don't let in too much light. I know the house was built for the refugees. Listen to the spirit in this land. The one who gives is still the greatest man. Don't listen to the spirit in this land. We are all refugees, refugees in flight, driven from our rightful home. We are all refugees, refugees in flight, driven from our rightful home.
So this is a jazz thing. This is called Where Do the Blues Come From? 2, 3. I said, where do the blues come from? Where do the blues come from? I said, where do the blues come from? People living in a dark, dark world. Go down, Moses, set the people free. I want to come with you. I want to be free. I want to see that promised land. I said, where do the blues come from? Where do the blues come from? I said, where do the blues come from? People living in a dark, dark world. Swing low, sweet chariot, come on after me. Hey, St. Peter, save a place for me. 'Cause I want to see the promised land. Amazing grace, oh how sweet the sound. 10,000 years, we just begun. Just now come to the promised land. I said, where do the blues come from? Where do the blues come from? I said, where do the blues come from? living in a dark, dark world. Yes, we are living in a dark, dark world. Living in a dark, dark world.
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.